Hello, this is Monique McDonald. And if you're looking for more one-on-one help with your voice and how to make it magnetic, I want to invite you to check out my coaching packages at themagneticvoice.com. Then click Transform with Monique and book a complimentary connection call. Let's see if we can find a package for you that will fit all of your needs. I'm so grateful for your listening to the Magnetic Voice podcast, and I can't wait to meet you and continue the conversation. Take care. See you soon.
Welcome to the Magnetic Voice, here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel, a show where speakers and singers learn how to be more magnetic and align their voices to the divine within. Today, episode 47, Team of Light. And now your host, Monique McDonald.
Hello and welcome to the Magnetic Voice podcast. My name is Monique McDonald and I am here with my partner, Shannon Kropf. Hey, Shannon.
What's up, baby?
Ooh,
It's summertime.
Summertime.
It's moving toward the ends of summertime, I guess. In Florida, it's always summertime.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Somebody hijacked June and then July just flew into August and here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are in August. And August is almost over.
Stop saying these words.
Here's the thing. I know. Here's what happened to me. Can I tell you a story?
Girl, tell me a story.
Well, I have been working machine.
Yes.
I have just been working and working and working and working. And I realized, I think we talked about this at the last podcast too, but I am really carving out when I realized that we had hit the 6-month point of the year. I've got to figure this out. I have to stop living to work. And I have to really figure out how to work, enjoy, and also have other things that give me joy.
Right.
I am very lucky that I love and adore what I do. Helping people voice their message and vibrate the world is just the most amazing thing that I get to do.
Right.
But here's what happened. My dear friend who loves to scoop me up, and he actually puts it that way, I'm going to scoop you up and take you to Fire Island.
Yes, please.
He took me to Fire Island, which is an island off the coast of New York, and it's the coolest place ever. It is an island where no cars are allowed.
Love it.
So there is a peace that happens. There is I'm sure there are plenty of places in the world where this happens, but there is something about the sky and how it reflects the sea. And girl, all I did was sit and watch the waves for hours.
That's awesome.
And have you ever had that kind of friend where you don't have to speak?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we just were in each other's presence, doing our own thing and silently in agreement that we were just going to be.
Yep.
And there was our first night there, a sunset over the sea. And it was as though the sky were imitating the ripples of the water.
Oh, wow.
And I have never seen anything like it. It was like ripples of color as the sun was setting, and there was a stillness over the bay. and I just became aware of light. And I started thinking about light because it's literally light that's making all of these different colors. And that if I feel like God is painting this masterpiece for us every night and every morning, and we don't even notice.
Yeah, it's true.
And so I sort of went to sleep with that thought and just filled with gratitude that I had now the time and the space to notice this beauty, this masterpiece that's happening all the time.
Right.
And we decided we were going to go to the beach the next day, and I was getting ready to go to the beach, and this book literally flew off the coffee table right at my feet. And I said, No, I'm not reading. I'm just sitting and
staring.
Watching. I'm just staring at the waves. And the book said, read me, read me.
Okay, divine guidance.
Well, exactly. And interestingly enough, this book was called Signs, the Secret Language of the Universe.
Oh, wow. So you were all primed to read this, right?
Exactly. And it's written by Laura Lynn Jackson. And she's a psychic medium.
Oh, cool.
And the whole book is about signs that people from the other side, as she puts it, are constantly sending us.
Oh, wow.
And all of these stories. So you can imagine this, I was in this frame of mind of, wow, what are the signs and what's going on and what am I missing?
Right.
Right? Because my head is in front of a computer for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And one of the things that she says that I really love is, you don't need me. You don't need a psychic medium to get these signs. They're here all along. And they're the secret language of the universe, a form of communication that is around us every day, all the time, available to anyone. You don't have to have any kind of psychic abilities except to notice. Has that ever happened to you where you I know this has happened to you. This is a hypothetical question because I know this is. So what I really mean is tell us about that time. And there were many, like you texted me something. I was just thinking about, it was traffic. We were going to have our meeting.
Right. I remember that.
And I was taking my friends to the airport. And I said, I'm going to try to make it back in time. I don't know if I'll make it. And then I texted you to let you know that traffic happened and I wouldn't be able to make the meeting. And what did you say?
Oh, I was just thinking about the traffic or something, something like that.
Yeah. These connections are constantly around us. And I know that we all notice them. They register, but we don't, we think it's just, it's,
coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Or, Right. Exactly. I have had so many of those that it's kind of hard for me to narrow it down. Mine are usually really strong. Like there's no doubt about it. Now, I will say I've been unplugged for a little while. I haven't been looking for the signs. I've just been sitting around going, what am I going to do with my life now?
Right.
And there's probably like 20 signs every day, and I'm just like so zoned out that I'm missing them. But one of them, the reason Dave and I kind of moved away from North Carolina 20 years ago now, which I can't believe, there was this school and I was thinking about going to it, and it was out in Memphis, and it turned out I was there for 10 years as a VP. So it worked out well. But I was sitting at a stoplight minding my own business. I was the way home from work. It was winter because it was like 6:00. It was already dark. And I'm sitting in stoplight. I'm not thinking about anything, nothing. And the song, Graceland by Paul Simon popped in my head. Like literally. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And the part that popped in my head was the Graceland, Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Graceland. Oh, okay. Because the school's in Memphis.
Right,
And,
right.
And then I was like, okay. And I stopped for a minute and I got this whole like download of information. Like every word meant something. Like being received and having a place. And, I wrote it down at the time. Now I have no idea where that journal is, but I did write it down at the time. But even now I can't quite grasp just this whole download because I was kind of in my Zen place. If I had been frantically listening to NPR or, singing a different song on the radio, that would there wouldn't have been space for it to drop on me and for me to notice it.
That's right. You were staring into space.
Mm-hmm.
You were empty.
Yeah.
You were not, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
And what I love, it's just such a comforting message. And for my darling listeners, I know that y'all believe in this kind of thing as well. And it's, whether you believe it or not, to know what she calls our team of light.
Nice.
Is a group of unseen helpers who work together to guide us to our higher path.
Guiding.
And this team.
Yeah.
Right? And this team is made up of our loved ones who've crossed,
mm-hmm.
our spirit guides or guardian angels, mm-hmm. and of course the God energy, which is based in the strongest force there is or ever will be, which is love.
Yeah. Speaking of, I've got another one that I just want to underscore that guiding thing. It's before Dave and I were together. He was up at Appalachian State where I went to college. I was a couple of years older than him. And I had noticed him, but okay, cool. Tried to get him to go out to dinner after a concert one night. And he was like, no. Okay, cool. So anyway, I was sitting in my first apartment ever, little tiny studio. And I'm supposed to work in the music library at that night, and I slept straight through it. I had just moved into this apartment over the weekend, so I slept straight through it. Woke up like when my shift was supposed to be ending. So screwed that one up. Okay. And so I'm just kind of like, again, in this empty state kind of going, and I'm like 20 years old. I mean, it's not like I was rolling around in wisdom and discernment or whatever. Not that 20-year-olds can't. I just wasn't. I'll clarify that. So I was just kind of like, oh, well, I've got the rest of this Sunday evening. What do I do? And I literally heard a voice say, go to the music building. I looked around. That was weird. Okay. So you think you hear an audible voice, you're going to do what it says, right? No. I was like, no, I'm not going to the music building. I have to take a shower and go to the music building. Oh, fine. I got nothing better to do. So I took a shower, got to the music building, and I was like, okay, what do I do now? I had no idea that I was being guided. I was just like, this is crazy and cool, whatever, Said, go to the practice floor. So our fourth floor was all student practice rooms and stuff. I was like, this is bizarre. I don't want to practice tonight. Go to the practice room. Okay, fine, going. So I grabbed my flute from my locker, went upstairs to the practice floor, and there's a lobby that you walk through before you get to all the practice rooms. And there was sitting my friend Ben and this guy Dave, and the rest is history. I never made it to the practice rooms. I sat down to talk to Ben and maybe Dave a little bit. And Dave cracked me up the whole night. And that was that night I started to go like, oh, I'm cold. Can you. And he was, bless his heart, he was a young man, a youngin'. So I'm not sure that he knew that I was kind of like, hey, but I'm sure we would have met and connected eventually, but there was something so insistent and so guiding and so kind of urgent that it was not going to let me go. It was obviously supposed to be part of my story. And since I had missed my shift, I guess my team of light had to get me there somehow. So they're like, well, I guess we'll just tell her.
Amazing. I love that story so much because it just is another illustration of how we are constantly being guided.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole idea of light and that we are light
Mm-hmm.
and that there is a team of light surrounding us and showing us, there's sometimes where I sort of get this image of, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know. I know where I want to go.
Yeah.
But I don't quite know how to get there. And oftentimes, because I don't know the how,
Mm-hmm.
I won't take that first step.
Right. Totally. No matter how many times we've been told, take the leap of faith.
And we have, haven't we?
And we've told ourselves that and then we still get all full of trepidation.
Yeah. But then when we are willing to take that first step
Mm-hmm.
towards whatever the dream is or whatever the goal is, I feel like the next step is lit up.
Mm-hmm.
But only the next step.
Okay.
Right?
I have to stop you here.
And then each step after that gets lit up when we're ready for it.
Have you, I'm sure the answer is no, because you're not a big old nerd like I am. Have you seen the new Miss Marvel series from Marvel on Disney Plus? It's literally, she has power over light and she throws down a light step and steps onto it, and then the next one appears. And she not just like, ooh, I need to be careful. She's running full force because she knows that next step is going to be there. She doesn't have to wait. She doesn't have to wonder. She's just like, I know it's going to be there. I'm off. And it's really, in this context, wow, how empowering that it's not like, oh, I'm going to step on this next step and maybe there'll be some light there. Maybe there. No, you can run. Go on and run.
Yes, because when we learn to recognize and trust this secret language, which is really only secret because we're not paying attention, we're not looking for it, right?
Right.
But when we open to it, we start to learn to recognize and trust the many ways that the universe communicates with us.
Right.
And then we start to experience this, what Laura Lynn Jackson calls a great shift, the great shift. And that's, I feel like, as you said, I set myself up for it when I was watching that sunset.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that this was kind of God's love letter to Monique. It's the sunset. And then this book came and all of these stories. And that once you open your mind to the idea that the universe is actually conspiring, the entire universe is actually conspiring to help us, we then realize that's all we have to do. That's really all we're here to do.
Yeah.
We're having a celebration
Somebody's
in the courtyard
happy about
here in
this.
New York
That's
City.
awesome.
So I love that they're celebrating our connection to the universe.
I got to tell you one more thing because I could talk about this stuff forever. The past year has been very different from what I thought it was going to be. I'm still figuring stuff out. But speaking of the universe kind of conspiring, I was up in the middle of the night one night, as I am, and I'm kind of asking the question of like, am I doing the right thing? I'm walking away from like everything. Is this right? Is this good? What am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. And so I was up in the middle of the night and I went to, we have a French door off our back, master bedroom. And I happened to step up and look up. And the moment I looked up, the shooting star went over.
Oh.
And I thought, how incredible that everything in the history of the universe conspired for me to look up and see that one shooting star. Like, my dad had to take me out to the beach when I was little and watch shooting stars. I had to think it was cool. I had to like space stuff. Whatever rock or meteor or whatever that this chipped off of, 4,000 years ago had to be in that position. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like I'm just in complete wonder at the complexity of the universe and the complexity it takes to communicate with us. Not that it's difficult for our team of light, but just that, like, wow, all these things I had to decide to get up out of my chair and walk over to it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pondering all these things and I went and sat back down with my iPad and I was like, I just felt compelled to like draw a card, like an angel card or whatever.
Yay!
And do you know, I typed in angel card, picked the first random website, literally picked whatever card jumped out at me. And I turned it over. It said space. The universe is conspiring to communicate with you. I kid you not.
Shannon!
Oh my God. And if I had just
amazing.
sat there and like, oh no, then I would have missed it. And I didn't. And how cool is that? Sorry. I'm done with story time now.
No, we love your stories, Shannon. We love them. So I'm going to read to you one of the final chapters.
Great.
My favorite quote, and I've decided that I really want to live from this quote, and I want to invite you all to think about living from this quote as well. So the next time you hear that negative voice telling you all the things that negative voice tells us, identify it and immediately talk over it.
Nice.
Say, no, actually, today is a gift. Being alive right now, right this second, is an incredible gift. And I am connected in a profound way to all the things in the universe. And my presence holds magic and power. And today will be a beautiful exploration of this connection and all that I'm capable of. Today will be a wonderful day.
Amazing. I love that.
What if every day was just an exploration of all of the signs and messages the universe has for us, and we just are openly trusting with an open heart that we are going to be receiving messages and following them. And that's all we have to do.
Right.
Connect.
Cool.
Connect to our team of light and each other.
Yeah. I think we should maybe do a meditation around that.
I would love that.
Awesome.
See you on the other side. So as we take a deep centering breath, allowing ourselves the space and the time to come apart from the rest of the world, the rush, all the to-dos, all the things that we have in our lives that need our attention. And for this one moment, we choose to go within, breathing into our hearts, breathing in to our soul, remembering that we are light that has been put into this physical body. We are beings of light. So often we think of ourselves as people in a physical world connected to our souls, but in fact, it's the opposite. We are beings of light that have chosen to walk in this physical body so that we can reawaken to the truth of who we are over and over again. And as we choose to reawaken to the light that we are and to connect to the divine light that breathes us, that beats our heart, we remember that there is a team of light, of unseen forces of the entire universe that are here for us, cheering us on, guiding us in our darkest days, showing us signs that they're there with us, always with us, guiding our way, showing us the next steps in our growth, in our journey to the light that we have been for centuries, that we have been before there was a thing called time. And when we think of ourselves connected in this very special way, we feel this light opening us from the inside, reminding us that we are all connected. We are all pieces of light that come together. We are part of the whole. We are the stained glass windows through which the light moves constantly. How would we be? How would we live our lives if we just expected to be divinely guided? That as soon as we start to doubt, we look around and we see the message. It can be a song that comes into our head. It can be a little feather on the ground when we're taking a walk. It can be a sunset. It can be a child's voice laughing just at that moment when you felt all was lost. It can be a celebration in the courtyard when we're remembering who we are and how we are all connected. So, my dear friends, as we take a deep breath together today, know with me this truth. Allow our breaths to align with all the messages from our team of light. And know that all we have to do is shift our perspective just a little. And then we can see the expanse of the sky and know that that is within us. The way the sun lights up the sky is the way that we light up the world around us. And for this knowledge and understanding of who we truly are, for being the light, we are eternally grateful. And we choose again to light up the world wherever we go. And so it is.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Magnetic Voice here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. This channel is made possible because of listeners just like you. If you would like to support the channel with your tax-deductible contribution on an ongoing basis or through a one-time gift, head over to experienceofthesoul.com/support. The Magnetic Voice is copyright 2022 Monique McDonald, all rights reserved. Our theme music is composed by Dave Kropf and used with permission. The Experience of the Soul podcast channel is a production of 818 Studios.
Hey friends, Sean here, your Experience of the Soul producer. I want to take a moment to tell you about something truly exciting. The SoulWorks online community, created by your host, Cynthia Alice Anderson, and available on the Mighty Networks app. If you're looking for a place where you can explore your spiritual path, connect with others, and grow in a meaningful way, then this is for you. SoulWorks is so much more than an online community. It's a safe, inclusive space for spiritual exploration, self-discovery, and personal transformation. Inside the community, you'll find everything from uplifting spiritual studies to soul-centered growth practices, meditations, affirmations, and so much more. It's a space where you'll always be supported and never judged. The best part, membership is free. You'll have access to powerful resources, inspiring content, and a supportive group of like-minded people who are all on their own unique spiritual journeys. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there are premium options available to enhance your experience with a live Monday night talk series and extended, deeper meditations. If you're seeking a place to connect, grow, and nurture your soul, we would love to have you join us in the SoulWorks community and see where this journey can take you. Visit my.soulworkscommunity.com today.